Good evening and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Board of Education. This meeting is called to order at 4:30 p.m. in open session. Roll call, please.
Ms. Armstrong?
Present.
Ms. Cintron? Mr. Critchfield?
Present.
Mrs. Garza?
Present.
Ms. Stewart?
Present. Tonight we do not have requests addressing closed session agenda items, and I don't see anyone else here that would like to speak. So at this time, the board will recess to closed session. Open session will resume at approximately 6 p.m. Welcome back, everyone. Tonight's meeting in the Board of Education was called to order at 4 p.m. in open session. The board then adjourned to closed session at 4 p.m., and we will now reconvene the meeting in open session at 6:07 p.m. Board Clerk Critchfield will update us on closed session topics.
Thank you, Madam President. The topics discussed in closed session were student matters, anticipated litigation, and public employee discipline, dismissal, or release. In closed session, the board overturned the student matter decision based on Education Code 49070, unanimously approving to appeal the request. Thank you.
Thank you. Tonight, we have Miss Alma Ulloa, and she will be leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Do we have any replacement pages or amendments to the agenda?
We do not.
All right, so moving on, let me check this really quick. Moving on to our presentations from students, staff, and community. We have our employee representative reports, and tonight representing BTA, our new president, John Young.
Good morning, everyone. Good evening, everyone, I should say. Sorry about that. I just wanted to formally introduce myself. I know some of you a little more formally than others, but I'm happy to get started to fill the big shoes of Carrie for sure. Some of the updates that you may have already heard about is that we do have several teachers signing up for the Summer Institute. I think it's about 50% of our teachers. If we have 600, I think it's somewhere around 300. Definitely wanted to compliment the process for registering. It was very seamless, very easy, and people seemed to get the information that they needed rather quickly. We have several teachers attending CTA leadership over the next couple of weeks. And you're probably aware, too, that we have several schools getting ready to participate in training for AVID, both at the elementary school levels and the high school levels. One little hiccup that is happening there that I wanted to share with you, it perhaps just irons itself out. It's a housekeeping kind of thing. Many teachers at some of the elementary schools are reporting that they haven't received any sort of confirmation for their accommodations at the hotels. That's probably still coming down the pipe. The last thing is maybe a little more concerning. Some high school teachers specifically have reached out about the new program that they're using for credit recovery during the summer called Edgenuity, I believe is the name of it. And their primary concern was that there were not enough, I guess, firewall wouldn't be the right word, but there weren't enough workarounds to prevent students from using AI and other things to do the work for them within Edgenuity. Just one anecdotal thing, when a teacher had observed that seemed to be happening, he watched a few students carefully for several hours and no work was being done, and then within the last 5 minutes of the class, 600-word essays were turned in. So he's concerned about the legitimacy of the program. He's not sure what the solution is, but he was concerned and he wanted to make sure that got passed along. He did mention that the previous program that they had used was called Odyssey, and it seemed to have a little bit better protection there. But that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We do not have CSCA communications, so next we're going to bring up PTA communications, and we have our new president, Ms. Alexandra Cortez. Thank you for being here. You got to push the button. There you go.
Nope.
Thank you.
Yes, that one. Okay. Good evening, President Stewart, members of the board, Acting Superintendent Dr. Ryan Smith, cabinet, and fellow community members. My name is Alexandra Cortez, and I'm honored to serve as the new president of Bellflower Council PTA. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Thank you for your warm welcome. It's a privilege to be here tonight and work alongside you to support our students and school communities. As of July 1st, the new PTA year officially began. Our units across the district began their planning, and we had our first meeting this past Tuesday. We've already held the meeting and have began kicking off our membership drive. PTA membership is a simple, impactful way to support our schools, and we encourage everyone, families, staff, and community members to join. You can purchase your membership on Totem or in person at our first big event this year, which is that flyer you guys are going to see up there. This event's going to be Saturday, September 13th from 9 to 12 p.m. It's going to be across the street at Ramona Elementary. Our plan is to have all of the PTAs present along with community resources so that parents and families can meet each other, unite, and get resources along the way. Another great way to stay connected is to follow us on all our social media platforms. We are on all of them under @Bellflower Council PT. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. All right, next we have our superintendent's report. Dr. Smith, do you have anything to report tonight?
Yes, just a couple of things. Good evening, Board President Stewart, board members. First, I would like to share that the district has recently completed the quarterly Uniform Complaint Report Summary for April through June 2025, as required by the county as a result of the Williams settlement legislation. There were no complaints received during this quarter in the areas of instructional materials, facilities, or teacher assignments. Next, I'd like to call up our Director of Facilities, Maintenance, and Operations and Transportation, Patrick Turner, to come and introduce to the board the newest member, or one of the newest members of the BUSD family. Mr. Turner.
Thank you. Thank you, Board President Stewart, board members, Acting Superintendent Dr. Smith, and Cabinet. It's a pleasure for me to come here today to introduce our new transportation manager. She has been with us for approximately a month and a half, and she came to us and she hit the ground running. Since then, she has been outstanding. She comes to us with a wealth of knowledge and experience. She is a state trainer, not only in a classroom, but behind the wheel for bus drivers. We feel very fortunate to have her on our team and in the district. At this time, I would like you to join me to welcome our new transportation manager, Mary Thompson.
Good afternoon. Thank
All
you,
right.
Patrick. Hello, everyone, part of the board. My name is Mary Thompson, and I am the newest member to Bellflower Unified School District. I just wanted to say thank you all for inviting me. You guys have been so welcoming, and I am just honored to be a part of this school district, so thank you very much.
Just one more thing. I am so impressed that she brought her family with her, and her family came from the high desert. They've been traveling for over an hour to come and be with us this evening. So thank you, and we really appreciate each and every one of you.
Okay, very cool.
We definitely want to thank you so much for being here. Do you guys mind all coming up and taking a photo with us? Let's do it. Let's do it.
Tall. Some tall family members. That'll be a good picture. All right. No.
I say go, you say Bellflower. Go.
Bellflower. Bellflower. And Madam President, I had a few other things to go over in my report, but
Yes.
I
go for
can't
it.
top that, so I'm gonna wrap it there. So
Are you
that
sure?
concludes. I'm positive that concludes my report.
Okay. Thank you again, you guys, for coming. We really appreciate you guys. All right, so we're up to committee updates. Are there any committee updates that the board has? Have any of the committees met? Do you have LAXTA? Anybody have any?
No, I wouldn't say, I would say the committee adjacent with the safety committee. I know we had the survey go out, and that'll be up for another, how long?
To our timeline tentatively is to run that survey for an additional week
Okay.
in order to give us enough time to prepare a presentation of the results for the board on August 7th.
Okay, yeah, I would, the only update I have is the survey, and just let people know if you want to answer that survey, it's still up. It's committee adjacent. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Anything else? All right, thank you. Okay, so we're on to our public comments. Tonight, we do have requests addressing open session agenda items. While the meetings of the governing board are not public meetings, they are open to the public. Individual speakers will be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda or non-agenda item. The board will limit the total time for public input on each item to 21 minutes as per board bylaw 9322.2. Can I have Mr. John Paul Dreyer? Welcome.
So it's already on. I don't have to hit a button. John Paul Dreyer, Faywood Street, North Bellflower, Trustee District 2. My dad used to be the mayor of Bellflower in the early 80s, and he attempted to start a redevelopment agency in Bellflower, but it was misunderstood, and we couldn't have another redevelopment district agency for many years. And so Bellflower is economically behind where it could be like its peers in Lakewood and Cerritos. And so after the state did away with redevelopment, I brought forth the city of Cerritos' economic development department plan, and that we have that now in the city of Bellflower, but we're still way behind, and also with the economy. And that affects our property values, and which affects school districts. And so I'm working hard to get people involved and engaged in our city to make improvements. One thing is, like, you can ask for free to have a tree planted in front of your home on the parkway, and that can help improve our property values. If everybody does something to clean up their yard, if they can't clean up their yard, we have a volunteer center that can help people get their yards clean, or maybe students could volunteer to help those in need. Also, I've been working, I know there's been some misunderstandings politically or different things, so I've been trying to talk to somebody I know very well on the council. They think the current board is the old board majority. And say, no, that's not true. There's a new board majority. Give them a chance. They're following the audit recommendations. They're a little bit behind on what's happened in the news, what work and progress you've made. And so we need to work together with the city of Bellflower more and to get things done for Mayfair, for all our local schools. So I'm working behind the scenes to help and also engaging my neighbors so we can improve our school district on all our alma maters. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right, next we have Miss Marisa Perez and Eduardo Tapia. Come on up. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I'm excited to hear this.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Board of Trustees and Honorable Cabinet and members of the community. My name is Marisa Perez. I am a member of Bellflower Unified School District community and glad to know all of you, and thank you again for all your service. I am a proud Mayfair parent of 1 graduate and 2 students, but today I'm here in my work capacity with the Gateway Cities Council of Government, which, as many of you know, we represent 2.1 million residents in Southeast LA, including 27 cities. And I'm here today with my work colleague, Eduardo Tapia, who's going to be doing the presentation.
Hello. Good evening, members of the board and members of the public. My name is Eduardo Tapia with the Gateway Cities Council of Governments, and I want to take this opportunity to present to you all a great resource that we've been promoting to other school districts in the Gateway region of LA County called the Kids for Kids program. So this is a no-cost program that provides these free energy efficiency item boxes to 3rd and 4th grade classrooms, as well as $1,000 grants to each classroom. The way that it works is that students would take these item boxes home, and I brought one here just to show you guys what kind of cool stuff it has. It has LED light bulbs, a smart bulb, shower timer, and a little night light. It's pretty cute. And so the way that it works is that the students would take these kits home, they would install these items and check them off on a little check card. And they would bring these check cards back to their teacher, and if 65% of the students bring back the card, then the classroom is eligible for a $1,000 grant. And these grants are very flexible. They can be used for funding science-related experiments or for field trips or just general classroom needs, really. It's very flexible. The only real eligibility requirement for the program is that the schools or school districts must be within the SoCal-REN territory, which I believe all of Bellflower Unified is already. Enrollment is first come, first serve. So right now we're really meeting with districts and with schools to try and get their spots reserved this summer for Rolla in the fall, this upcoming school year. So I'll emphasize again that this is a completely free program to the schools and their families and the students, and it's a great way to teach students about sustainability, energy efficiency, and provide a tangible resource to the teachers who are, of course, always in need. The reason for us reaching out to districts as opposed to individual schools is that it's just much easier to coordinate with someone on the district level rather than just individual schools. So I'll say if you guys are interested in bringing this resource to Bellflower Unified, please reach out to me. I'll leave my information here with a little flyer, and we can provide more information to you on a later meeting. Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Can you give it to Dr. Smith, please?
Yeah.
Pass that along to him.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. All right, so we're moving along to our consent agenda. Do you have any items that you would like to withhold tonight? I'm going to withhold 11.16. Does anyone have any others?
Yes, I'd like to withhold 11. Sorry, let me get my numbers here correct. Point 15.
11.15. Any others? All right. So, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda and withhold items 11.15 and 11.16?
Can I have that motion?
Can I get a second?
Second.
Board Member Armstrong seconds. All right, roll call, please.
Ms. Armstrong?
Aye.
Ms. Cintron?
Aye.
Mr. Critchfield?
Aye.
Mrs. Garza?
Aye.
Ms. Stewart?
Aye. All right, so moving to our first withheld item 11.15. Vice President Garza.
I'm sorry, mine was 11.16.
11.16 is the one that I withheld, so you're holding the same one?
I'm confused. I pulled 11.15 or yes, sorry. Okay, so
It's 11.16, right? Correct.
yeah, that was the one I pulled, wasn't it? Oh.
I mean, since it's pulled, I
Yes.
guess I do have one question on it. The F3 contract, the increase of 43,000. Could you just get an explanation of why we're increasing that contract?
We added special education to that contract, and that explains the increase in the amount.
Okay, so added special ed for the F3.
Correct.
They were already doing the SPED, right? Where we added it. Just
We added it at some point this year, and so we had to increase the amount because of special education litigation costs. Sorry.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have any other questions on 11.15? All right, can I get a motion to approve 11.15?
You have that motion?
Can I get a
Second.
second?
Second.
Thank you. Board Clerk Critchfield, seconds. All right, roll call, please.
Ms. Armstrong?
Aye.
Ms. Cintron?
Aye.
Mr. Critchfield?
Aye.
Mrs. Garza?
Aye.
Ms. Stewart?
Aye. All right, so the next item is 11.16, contract and agreements 2025-2026 fiscal year. Vice President Garza?
Yes, I'm having a question on, let's see. I believe the John Tray Clinic. It says number 5 under non-public school, non-public agency. Can you tell us a little bit more about what there says education and socialization, preschool attendance based on IEP placement. Can you give us a little bit more information about the IEP placement portion?
Absolutely. So John Tracy Clinic provides a wide range of services for us for our students who are deaf and hard of hearing. We did recently, the reason it says preschool is we recently added a preschool age student to their school program. We don't have a deaf and hard of hearing program here, so they provide those services for us. So they provide related services, and they also provide a placement for the students who need placement within a DHH program.
I see. Okay. All right. Thank you.
My question was regarding the YMCA contract. I asked this earlier, but I wanted to ask this for the public because I have gotten some different information from the public than I have today, so I really wanted to reiterate that. My question was that we're spending $1.247 million on this, and I was told that if you went to the YMCA before school, that parents were, some of them were thinking that there was a fee for that. So I just wanted to verify that the before school for YMCA, whether it's at ILC, Foster, Ernie Pyle, that there is not a fee for any parents for that morning YMCA program.
Correct. That contract is for two things, playground partners and for the before school YMCA, and there is not a fee for before school YMCA.
Okay, so then my next question, because I know parents that have wanted to be in that program and they thought it was very expensive, is how would they sign up? Would they sign up at their site or a website, or how can parents sign their kids up for that program?
Yeah, there's an interest form online, and then during the school year, there's flyers at the school sites.
Okay. And just to clarify, after school, we have two programs. You can use the YMCA or you can use Think Together, but my focus was really on the before school, but they would have two different options. Are both Think Together and YMCA at every one of our sites after school?
No, they
Just
are
3
not.
sites, correct?
Correct.
Okay, do you know those sites to just let us know?
It'd be ILC, Lindstrom, and Stephen Foster.
Okay. Those are the sites they are at. Critchfield? Yes.
The YMCA, so the one, so Think Together is free to our parents, correct?
Correct.
And the YMCA charge it, and they're only at 3, but Think Together is at all of them?
Correct.
Okay.
Are there any other questions?
I have a couple. The John Tracy Clinic kind of triggered a question for me. So it's like $250,000 for like one. I mean, it makes me. It begs the question: how many students need a deaf and hard of hearing program, and how much would it be just to have that service here? Because
So that cost that you're seeing there is for all the services they provide to all of our students. It's not for one student. We just added a preschool age students, which we didn't have before. And that's why it was worded that way. But they provide services, I want to say, to about 15 of our students.
Okay,
And it's different services.
Oh, so it's a bunch. So the undertaking it would create to have all of those services in house would be much more than $250,000.
Yes, yes. The only other way would be partnering with a partner district within the SELPA or an MOU with another district, which we have explored those options. Continued conversations with our SELPA regarding that, so that we wouldn't have to use JTC.
Okay, and that's something we are exploring.
We have been exploring it, and we will continue to. There's some history there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have one more question. The Scholars Systems contract. I believe that's for our speaker for the Welcome Back breakfast. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Critchfield, that is correct. That's the LLC, if you will, for the speaker himself, who is Dr. Victor Rios.
Okay. Yeah, for that item, I would respectfully request that we table that. I'm excited for Dr. Simon to start at the district. I'm excited to hear everything that we're going to be doing. But as of yet, I don't think there's been a lot of communication with the board with her. And I think that when we ended up bringing the district breakfast back last year, and the idea behind the speaker was really to emphasize the vision of the district and the board. And I feel like it's a little soon to be saying that this is our vision when we haven't had the opportunity to build that rapport and communication with our new superintendent. I think it deserves the conversation, at least getting to know the board so we can agree on what the theme and the message for the district will be moving forward. So that's what I would prefer, is to table that to the next meeting unless there was some reason why it had to be right now.
I just want to say that I did meet with her and I talked to her, and I don't think there was like a vision behind it. It was just a speaker that she thought was really good. I mean, we haven't done that in the past. I know the last speaker we didn't really talk about, but I would support our superintendent. She's here. She thinks this is going to be a good speaker. I would support her, so I would be not in favor of doing that. Vice President Garza.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm in agreement with Mr. Board Member Critchfield. We haven't yet met with the superintendent. I feel that the speaker should be somebody who's going to kind of start off the school year with a vision from the board. That's what our job is here. That's why we're here. Having those conversations and then choosing a speaker would probably be better. So I haven't met with her. I don't know if anyone else has, but I'd love to sit down with her so that way she can get a kind of a idea at least of where we're kind of all headed to. And it wouldn't just be something that she kind of randomly picked. We don't know her at this point just yet. We do want to get a conversation going with her and establish a relationship. I would be for waiting just a little bit longer. I understand that you, as our staff, have deadlines, but for a speaker, I'm hoping that we are able to come back and bring this as soon as, we have those conversations with her.
So just to go ahead and address this, I have met with her, but she hasn't started. So just so the public knows, our superintendent has not started. She doesn't start till July 14th. As president, I requested that I'm the first one to meet with her, and I'm meeting with her July 17th because I'm going to be in Napa for a conference until the 16th. I fly in Wednesday night on the 16th, and I'm meeting with her on the 17th, and the rest of the board will be meeting with her, I believe, the 21st, 22nd, at the very beginning of the week once she starts, but she has not started, so that's probably why we haven't met with her. Board Member Cintron.
I just want to echo my colleagues, Clerk Critchfield and Trustee Garza. I think it's necessary for us to, thank you, President, for laying out the timeline, because I do think it's important that we understand the vision moving forward with their new superintendent, whatever that may look like, but to approve something of such an amount without being able to at least have a conversation and really come to a consensus of what we'd like to see moving forward, and then hiring someone that's going to have such a big impact on kicking off our year. I just think that there's still some wiggle room in the timeline to be able to meet accordingly and then come to a consensus with the speaker. I don't know the speaker. I haven't heard this person myself, so I'm not knocking anything. We could for sure approve it. I think I would feel a little bit more in lockstep with our new superintendent if this is something that we can table.
So just for clarification, we were sent last week a link with information and different things that we could look at so that we could learn more about the speaker and prepare for before our meeting. But I'll understand that. Board Member Armstrong.
Thank you, President Stewart. I want to say that I don't know him personally. Victor Rios is not my friend, but he has been a guest speaker at CSBA, and in SBA he goes around. He comes and speaks for the California Latino School Board Association. So he's there, and he's been around to several of our neighboring schools, Linwood being the last one that he was at. And when he speaks, I tell you, he connects with the students. If you were to listen to him and his story, he has a story. And his story is that he was not expected to succeed at all. And very powerful. And when I tell you, even the student board members at the different venues, they flock to him. And he does have it's called the Scholar System. And this is his statement. We believe in the incredible potential of our students and the amazing things that passionate educators can achieve. And they've been, like I say, been at LAUSD, Napa Valley, USD, Lompoc. He's been everywhere. If we have enough time to wiggle around or whatever, but I promise you, I've been trying to get Victor here. But as a district, we've been going through so many different changes that it just wasn't possible. But for him to avail himself, our children, our teachers would love it. and the children will just connect with the message coming from him. So I would really like to go ahead and get him on contract so he won't go somewhere else.
Well, let's be honest, we don't have another meeting until August 7th, so if we don't sign this contract, which is what our superintendent, her very first thing of asking for the board, we trusted her, we hired her. If we don't approve the contract, we're probably not gonna have a guest speaker because August 7th is our next meeting and the breakfast is August what, 18th? Well, August 12th. Right, so we're not gonna have a speaker if we don't approve this contract. So again, therefore, I would trust our superintendent. We're all gonna have conversations with her, and it's a speaker, and it's who she thinks is gonna be doing a good job for us. Board Member Cintron.
I'd like to hear with Clerk Critchfield and Trustee Garza wanted to say before me. Thank you.
Sorry, you were in the K next, so I don't know if someone pushed their buttons. I'm just going in order and who's next. So right now it has Clerk Critchfield.
Thank you, Madam President. You're probably right, and I saw some of the video clips, and he could very well be the speaker. He very well could be the best one, and the fact is, the district breakfast at its inception was brought back after how many years, 17 years or something, was to project the vision of the district. Our role as a board is the vision of the district. And I think it's worth a conversation. And again, it very well could be that, and I'm sure he's great. I've seen his videos, it's fine. That it might be great. But it's a conversation. It's hard to swallow like the, well, she hasn't started yet, so we haven't had the conversation, when I've heard twice that there have been conversations and she's already brought forward contracts for us to sign off on, where we can build a little rapport and actually collaborate. And I think that she's going to be great at collaborating. And you know, I've spoken to her very briefly at the Lakewood Celebrates event. I think it's going to be great. But we just haven't done it yet. And it's nobody's fault that the timing isn't there. I bet we could figure out a way to have those conversations and maybe get Victor on. But the fact is, it's not a. If she hasn't started at all, why are we talking about contracts not being able to ask her? I'd love to ask her why she wants this speaker as opposed to other speakers and spend over $20,000 on it. Like, it's a great conversation to have. We haven't had it. We're still in that transition period. It's just a matter of timing. But yeah, maybe that person is the speaker. But we're a board of 5 people, and I respect. When you had asked Madam President to speak with her first before the whole board, but it sounds like you already have, and I think the conversations could have happened before this meeting. So she does have the input from the board when we lay out the vision. That logo, the unified in purpose, that was the theme for the year. I think having a theme and the vision is definitely something that we should all be inputting on as we move forward to kicking off the entire school year.
Thank you. I totally agree, which is why I'm kind of shocked that we never had that last year with our last speaker. But okay, Board Member Cintron.
For the record, I'm sorry, you were a part of the conversations with the speaker as vice president.
I didn't choose the speaker. Did we have a vision? Or did we all talk about our vision last year when we picked the speaker? Or was the speaker picked for us?
Respectfully, our former superintendent picked the speaker.
Correct.
But the conversation was with me and you, and it was like 3 conversations.
No, I was talking about the entire board. I was wondering if we had a conversation in a board meeting about the speaker that we had last year, because we didn't.
Sure, and respectfully, the conversations were around the theme of the year, and she and the superintendent picked the speaker to fit the theme. There was more conversation there is now, that's all I'm saying. And again, I'm not against the speaker, and again, I want to have that conversation and collaborate. I think it's just a little, if we haven't even had a chance to talk, to be stamping contracts that we haven't had a discussion on, I think is irresponsible.
There's one contract that's come before this board, and it's for a speaker that our superintendent thinks will be a good speaker. We allowed our past superintendent to choose the speaker based on what she thought, but to hear that we are not going to give that grace to our new superintendent is disappointing to me. Vice President Garza.
Thank you, Madam President. I believe that one of the key parts of this story, probably the difference between last year and this year, is that Ms. Acevedo had already had those conversations with us prior to deciding who the speaker was going to be. So I know that at that point, I wasn't asking any more questions because she had had that conversation with me. I had sat down with her, and I had given her what my vision at that point was for our board. And so I was assuming that she was going to marry everyone's vision because that was her job and that is the superintendent's job. At this point, I myself don't feel comfortable having this speaker, or not even the speaker. The speaker can probably, I agree with Board Member Crutchfield, could probably be the same one. I just want to be able to have a conversation with her and sit down so that way she sees, does this marry with the vision of the board? And thank you for giving us your itinerary. Wasn't necessary, but I understand why you would want to speak to her first. I think that as a board, if three of us are requesting that you give us a little bit more time, that you give us that grace with her, that we give our relationships with her a positive start, then that will pay off in dividends later on. But I really don't feel comfortable with approving such a large contract. I mean, this isn't the first time, but it is something that I want to talk to her first.
Mrs. Acevedo, just for clarification again for the public, Mrs. Acevedo became our interim superintendent in February, so she had plenty of time. Our current superintendent was just hired. We actually had to wait a little while to approve her contract for reasons beyond my control. And so again, if we don't approve this contract for her, then we're probably not going to get somebody. So if that's because you haven't had a conversation with her because she hasn't started yet and because the president requested to have a conversation first, if that's the reasoning to not trust her in hiring a speaker, then I guess that's what you guys are going to do. I'm against that. I feel like we should be supporting our superintendent. Vice President Garza?
I think you had something to say, right? Ms.
I'm going
Citron?
by the queue, you guys. If you guys want to come look at it, you can see I'm just calling it in order. So just remember, as a reminder, if you turn it off and turn it back on, it's going to drop you down to the bottom. So I'm just going to continue to go in order. Vice President Garza.
I appreciate what you're saying. But again, it's not about the president speaking first to her. You are the president, you're allowed to.
Sounds like it is, but go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. You cannot. I'm not even going to engage in this conversation right now. But this is something that as a whole board we have to decide on if it's the vision of the whole board. And making sure that our superintendent understands what we all feel is important and marrying that vision is important. So likewise, picking the right speaker is also important to start off the school year.
And just for clarification again for the public, as a board member, I've been on this dais for 2.5 years. I've never been asked what my vision was, no matter who our superintendent was, no matter who our president was. Nobody has ever asked me what my vision was. So continuing on, Clerk Critchfield.
Thank you, Madam President. I think it's unfortunate to frame this as a not trusting our new superintendent because that's not what it is at all. This has to do with having a true collaborative approach to these things. And I think that the difference that you're pointing to is, Ms. Acevedo was in our district for, over 30 years? How many did it end up? She was in our district for a long time. I think her understanding of our community, having a clear vision is there. I think that, I think Dr. Simon would respectfully agree that there is a learning portion of becoming a new superintendent in a new community, I think that I'm respecting that learning portion, and I think the learning could start with the board when it comes to hearing our vision and where we think the district should go. Yeah, again, it's about a conversation. I think it's just a little, it's not serving of future goals by framing it as a not trusting thing when it's really the board wanting to collaborate with our new superintendent. And again, it's, it sounds like conversations have already taken place. So these like timelines, I think, are pretty, fluid as far as like how long we're being asked to wait to even talk to our superintendent. I think that because of those timelines, I would feel more comfortable tabling this until we have those conversations. Again, it's not about the speaker. It's not about the trust of Dr. Simon. I'm excited for her to come in. I'm excited to have those conversations. I'm ready to go. But those haven't taken place, and it's unfortunate.
And just being respectful as well, I've had conversations with you about some of these things, and so it's just my own personal opinion, it may not be right, that this is not trusting. And to not be able to speak with our new superintendent for 5 days, I don't think is a timeline that is that atrocious. Board Member Armstrong.
Thank you, President Stewart. I'm thinking of a happy medium here, considering the timeline. Like I said, I would love for Dr. Rios to come and speak to the teachers. I already spoke about that. How is it possible for us to approve it? Because he's accessible. Maybe if you guys want to reach out to him, he's that accessible. So if you would like to talk to him and say, hey, you're going to be coming to our school, and I'm sure he knows the dynamics of what's going on. We got a new superintendent, et cetera, et cetera. You could speak to him. You could contact him and talk to him. If he's not what you think we want, I don't know. I mean, I'm like you, Amy. I've never been asked. Dr. Acevedo, Ms. Acevedo never asked me about, what speaker we should have or anything like that. Sometimes things just happens because they're working to try to plan. So can we approve the contract for, this $20,000 for Dr. Rios to come on? I could provide you with links so you can research him yourself and even possibly speak to him. But I promise you, I don't know how much you might trust me, but I promise you, he resonates with teachers, school board members, and most importantly, students. And I know he has something that we all will be, like, wow, I'm glad he came to speak. I promise you. So can we come to a happy medium just to approve the contract? I could provide you with information. And if it's like, no, you don't want to do that, or we can always pull it. But I mean, you guys, let's get this happy medium going.
I do see what's happening. Like, for instance, you haven't turned your mic off, so you're still number one on my case. So maybe we should, after we finish talking, turn it off and then turn it back on, and then it makes it kind of go in the order. And I agree with you. I'm the one that pulled this item, so it didn't seem very important. Board Member Cintron.
Thank you. Well, now Renita has me thinking, or Miss Armstrong, Trustee Armstrong has me thinking. So, again, the whole reason why I didn't feel comfortable with this particular contract, again, wasn't because I don't know the speaker, and also to be very clear, because it has been said several times in several different meetings, yes, we do get the information ahead of time. Yes, I do read. I get the same information as everyone else, and I was not satisfied with that information, hence my hesitancy here. I do trust who we all chose. That is not the issue here as well. I just want to make sure, as I said before, that we are in lockstep with our superintendent coming in. I do not have an issue with the timeline of speaking to our new superintendent. That didn't bother me any. I think I need to hear more discussion, if there is more, to be able to really solidify how I want to move forward with my vote.
Clerk Critchfield.
Thank you, Madam President. I'll just reiterate again, it's not about the speaker. It's definitely not about trust with the superintendent. And I think it's, again, unfortunate, like trying to paint it out that way, or even like trying to suggest like private conversations that what I'm saying isn't true. I don't appreciate that at all. What I will say is this is literally about when we talk about unified in purpose and having a vision as a board. I'm so sorry that you guys haven't been asked what your vision is, but the vision is talked about every single time that we make a decision this board and we talk about what's important to our district. And those conversations of what is important to this board from what we hear from our community and what our community needs to hear going into the next year, I feel is very important and should be a unified message to our district. And if that is Victor Rios, then that's great. But there's no reason those conversations couldn't have already happened, in my humble opinion, considering, especially knowing the links of conversations that have already been taking place, even though she hasn't started yet. I think those conversations could have been with the board, so these conversations on the dais could have been much smoother. So that's it has nothing to do with the other two things. The trust, the speaker, nothing. This is, when we kick off the school year, it should be a unified message, and it should be with the message and vision of this board. And I think that we all do have a very positive vision for this district, and I think that when we're working together, it's a very optimistic, and it's a great vision, and we're taking a lot of steps thanks to our hardworking staff to get there. And those conversations need to happen as Dr. Simon starts with our district. The timing, I'm sure, not optimal, but I think those conversations are valuable.
I'm not really sure what the vision was for George Couros last year, but
so
yeah.
the vision there and the conversations that you were a part of were about technology and connectedness, and aligned with the theme of unified in purpose, of using technology and changing the way we see technology with our students, leading into some of the initiatives that we got into later in the year, whether it was with AI or cell phone policy. There was a reason why we focused on those elements with George Couros, who
I guess I don't remember those conversations about AI and technology and all that in his presentation that he did. But again, we're talking about being collaborative of a board, and we did not have a collaborative conversation about that speaker last year. Whether me and you had conversations because you were president and I was vice president in closed session, from what I'm hearing from my other board colleagues is that it wasn't collaborative. And again, our superintendent has not started yet. So in that frame of mind, it wasn't collaborative last year on the dais, and it's consistent with what's happening now, but it seems like we're indifferent to that. Board Member Armstrong.
I just want to thank you, President Stewart. I just want to reiterate again that I know, this I do know, Dr. Rios will talk about teacher professional growth and student empowerment and parent involvement. So that's what he's all about. I mean, he has a wide range, but our common goal, I know, I haven't talked to Dr. Rios about it. I haven't talked to Dr. Simon about it. but I do trust her, and I trust that he's going to be talking about, you know, teacher development, student empowerment, parent involvement, and whatever else. I don't know. I just know that he could possibly speak about almost anything. But again, let's agree to a happy medium of approving this contract and work on, you know, trying to get a feel for him. Talk to Dr. Simon when she starts, and if we have to, and I don't think we would have to, but if we have to cancel the contract, then we'll do that. But I promise you, we won't have to. We won't have to.
Clerk Critchfield?
Thank you, Madam President. I don't think it's good to approve a contract and to start thinking about it. I would make a motion.
I'm sorry. I don't want to. I didn't say. I'm talking about for you because you don't want to approve it.
No, I understand.
Okay. So I'm not saying that's what we're going to approve everything and think about it later. No, I'm trying my best to give you something. You know, if you could trust me as your board member, I'm not going to, whether you trust what I'm saying or not, whether you trust what Dr. Simon is trying to put forth or not, I don't know. I'm just saying, let's approve this. We don't have to, but we should be trusting her. We just hired her. I have links, phone numbers. You can, reach Dr. Rios on your own, or you can wait until you speak to Dr. Simon. I promise you, he is a good, inspiring speaker.
I've watched the links, and I don't disagree with you. And respectfully, Ms. Armstrong, you got to take what I'm saying is, it's not about how good of a speaker is or what he's going to speak on, or the trust with you, or the trust with Dr. Simon. This literally is about the collaborative effort of kicking off a school year. That's it. It's principled, and I hear the rumblings, and I wish that wasn't the case, because we talk about the collaborative effort and the governing team of 6, and I think those conversations across the board are going to be great, and I think that those conversations are going to lead to a unified vision for the upcoming school year. And I hate that a simple request to have a little bit more time to consider a contract with our superintendent has turned into this, and I think it's unfortunate. But respectfully, I would move to table this item.
Respectfully, I think it's awful that this conversation has come to this as well, seeing that as board president, I've already told you I've spoken with her, so there's no trust in that as well. And for the simple fact that this isn't something that we normally do. We don't really talk about this speaker, that we're putting this much time into a superintendent's choice for a speaker. I mean, I don't know. Anybody else have anything?
Yes, Madam President.
There's a motion on there. Do you have a second?
So I'm going to respond to that.
Do you have a second? You made the motion, so let's go ahead. Point of order. Do we have a second?
I second.
So
All right, roll call, please.
if I may, just to be clear, the motion is to approve
Table.
the agenda item, because there's other things on this particular item with the piece about scholar systems tabled.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct,
Thank you.
because we didn't get enough collaboration with our superintendent who hasn't started. All right, go ahead, roll call,
That's
please. Motion to, we have it, go ahead, roll call, please.
Yes.
We're approving the item 11.16, and we are tabling the speaker.
Yes, the item related to scholar systems is the one component of the overall item that's tabled.
Correct, and the only one on the timeline that we need right now. Go ahead, roll call, please.
Ms. Armstrong?
No.
Ms. Cintron?
Can I be skipped to the end, please?
Sure. Mr. Critchfield?
Aye.
Mrs. Garza?
I just want to explain my aye. My vote is aye. But I want to make sure that everybody understands, this is not because I don't trust the superintendent. This is not because we don't want the speaker. It is, or that I don't want the speaker. I want to speak for myself. It is because it is important that we have a conversation with our superintendent first. Thank you.
Ms. Stewart?
I'm going to explain my answer, which is no. And to me, we've always had, at least for the last 2.5 years until like 2 weeks ago, we've always had respect for our president and their discussions with him. Again, they haven't started. Again, we haven't had a conversation with because she doesn't start till July 14th. And to not trust her over a speaker for a breakfast, to me, is appalling. So I'm going to vote no. Board Member Cintron?
I am torn because I hear my colleagues. I do not want to start the school year I guess since everybody's making clarifications, let me clarify. My vote is not to derail, not because there's no trust, there's no willingness to have a discussion. And I can't say I have been around to know what they have done in the past. I know how I would like our vision as a board to move forward. And based on the spirit of collaboration and transparency, I'm gonna vote aye.
All right, we're moving on to board communications. Board Member Cintron.
So I hope everybody has been enjoying their summer. It has been hard. There's a lot of moving parts. I want to congratulate the 2 new presidents that came and presented us in front of us today. Welcome, and I look forward to working with all of you. Continue to work with all of you, so thank you. I just want to take a personal note. It's really hard to make these decisions knowing how hard everybody in the background is working. It's not to not recognize the hard work going into this. I know we're a hard board in the way of all of us have very, very strong opinions and how we think things should be rolled out versus the practicality in it. So thank you. It's not being unnoticed. But I urge us as a board to find unity, to not only give respect when having differences of opinion. I think it's necessary. And I think at one time, me coming onto the board, I valued that nobody was in anyone's pocket and nobody was like, oh, if you vote this way, I'm gonna vote this way just because, you know, we're good on the board. I think the reason why we are strong moving forward is because all of us have the same vision, the same authentic step to move forward. I'd like to see more collaboration and discussions and being able to have a manner where there's not insults thrown in, because all of us are valuable in this board. Our voices are valuable, even if it doesn't sound the same as our next colleague. So with that, I will see everybody at the next board meeting, and I hope everybody continues to have a safe and wonderful summer and getting ready for the new school year. Thank you so much.
Board Member Armstrong?
Thank you again, President Stewart. I just want to say thank you all for coming out. I've been enjoying my summer, including going to the meetings with the board. I must say that you guys know I'm a teacher. I just came back from the National Education Association Representative Assembly and with some of our teachers. Unfortunately, this time we didn't take a picture. It was quite different this time. It was a lot of new teachers that I didn't know, and then the one teacher that I did know, she was volunteering, so she was like everywhere. But I just want you to know that the issues that's happening locally, countywide, statewide, the NEA is doing. They have been fighting. I didn't know how much they have, how many lawsuits that that they have filed against the administration as far as like messing with our our soft target. Schools are considered a soft target, and as you guys know, a lot of times judgment will come, but then they'll appeal it to the highest court, and then they'll overturn it. And so they filed like 17 lawsuits, and only 2 were upheld. Everything's just been reversed. So we, as educators, are still continuing to fight, and we're really going to have to be on the ground to fight for education. So, and I do commend our staff for continuing to work as if nothing's happening, but they know a lot is happening there. So yeah, I pray that you can make all the adjustments that you're going to need to make in the future. I attended the swearing-in ceremony for the incoming mayor of Lakewood. We have Miss Cassandra Chase. She's actually the first African-American to serve as a mayor in Lakewood, and we're so proud of her. And she herself, she's involved in a lot of community organizations, and she loves education, but now she's the mayor of Lakewood. So I'm very proud of her. I did want to talk about, July is Disabilities Pride Month. I had an article. I'm sorry, you guys. Just, give me just a second. Give me just a second. I wanted to share something with you all, but I'll forego that. I'll talk about Disability Pride Month later. Just know you guys are going to have that next time. I'll be a little bit more calmer. But what I do want to speak on is that, I remember at our last board meeting, we had a teacher that helped us welcome our new superintendent. And one of the things that she said, and it struck me, and she made a comment about micromanaging, and I'm saying that because now I'm hoping that she knows that our intentions as a board is like really true, and we want the best, for our students and for everyone in the district. She's planning. She hasn't started to work yet, but yet she's really trying to say, hey, because she's excited. We're all excited, but I just pray that the decision to wait on this is not going to damper her enthusiasm working with us. I'm not a micromanager. I like to actually see what's in the brains of our staff. Like, what do you think about this? I love to see how things play out, how they work, and how they lay things out. And then there goes my questions, then I'll ask. So I am really looking for a really exciting new school year. And as a board, we will work together and we will respect each other. And so, that's most important. Just know that our heart is in the right place. At least mine is. And I'm sure you guys are too, because you wouldn't be up here if it wasn't. Okay? So let's trust our superintendent and our staff, and let's let Bellflower grow and grow, because we're in for a hard time with other issues. All right, that's it for me. All right, you guys, thank you.
Clerk Critchfield?
Thank you, Madam President. I too went to the Lakewood Celebrates, and I want to say thank you and congrats to outgoing Mayor Todd Rogers. I think he did a fantastic job. He always does. I think that was his 5th time mayor of the city. And passing the torch to my friend Cassandra Chase. She is amazing. Lakewood is incredibly lucky to have her step forward as mayor. I was super excited at that event. And at that event, we also that was actually at the board meeting after the Lakewood Celebrates event. At the Lakewood Celebrates event, we also got to introduce our new superintendent, Dr. Erin Simon, to the community. And the city, once a year they do like a welcome for like new people in the community. So she came up on stage. She gave a great speech, and it was great to see her already like be able to jump in and start networking and getting to know people. It was very impressive, and it was just a good night overall. Also, today, I want to say thank you to Miss Alma, Matt Adair, Michelle, CSEA. The collaborative effort that has been put into the Ernie Pyle transfer, improving our SPED services over there, very impressive. I thought today went very well. And just your ability to really hear them and make the adjustments and collaborate was great. I think that really setting up for success going into next year, and those conversations about inclusion for our students that are going over there from Washington, I think it was very positive, and I feel like all the concerns were checked off, and I feel like everything was resolved. So thank you for all the work that went into that. I really don't want to continue the conversation about the last item. But it just, when there's a rebuttal to everything, like it's like it takes somebody to stop it, somebody like, and I'm just not that guy. The fact is, we keep framing it like a trusting, but I have to keep saying, it's really not. I'm not going to change who I am, and when we talk about like the importance of collaboration and shared vision, I mean it, and I think we all do, but I think it doesn't do anybody any good to like try to paint a picture other than that. And that's all I'll say about it. I'm excited about going forward. She is in the pilot seat of our district. I want nothing more than her to succeed. I think we all do, and we'd be fools if we didn't. I'm excited about the future and what we do and how we kick off the breakfast that we brought back for the district. It's all positive, and it's unfortunate that it gets tainted with some less positive language, but I think it's really important. Like my colleague Ms. Cintron said, like when we do have disagreements, it would be good for us as a board to pull back on some of the less productive comments and learn to trust each other. If we're all talking about trusting somebody that we just met, for all intents and purposes, if we can't trust each other and take them at their word of what they're saying, it's even more difficult to swallow. So we need to do that and disagree respectfully. And disagreements are great, and we have an amazing board, and we're all very principled, and we have differing opinions, and I think it's an awesome thing. I'm fine when people disagree with me, and we just need to learn to disagree in a better way, because I think that serves our district better. With that, have a great night.
Vice President Garza.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to say I attended the State of the City for Cerritos. Congratulations to them. It was a wonderful event. And it seems like they have a lot going on over there. So I'm really happy for them. Also, congratulations to Cassandra Chase. Amazing person, in my opinion, and they're going to be doing really well with her at the helm. So congratulations go out to them as well. Former Mayor Todd Rogers, thank you for that service, making sure that we are all collaborating together as we also serve as part of Lakewood. And then also, thank you to our personnel, both sides of personnel. I know that this has been a marathon summer for you. I mean, we read through all those pages and pages of people that we did recently hire. So I'm very, very happy and excited that we have both of you on both sides, making sure that all our needs are met for our district this upcoming school year. And I know that you've been dedicating so many hours of work on that during the summertime. And also CSEA employees, I know you guys are still on the clock, so thank you so much. It's always something that I think we forget sometimes when we all leave those campuses. Not everybody gets to go home. So thank you so much to your employees and your staff. It's wonderful to have you and support us in that way. Congratulations to John Young, taking the helm for BTA. So thank you for that, and I look forward to having many conversations with you. And staff as well. I know that you are still on the clock, and that everything you do every day is really, just a testament to how much you really value our district and want to work with us. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. And just FYI, I have this written ahead of time, which is ironic because we're talking so much about collaboration, but I'm going to read my board report for you guys. Since our last regular meeting, I've had the opportunity to meet with our executive cabinet regarding the upcoming changes in special education for the 2025-26 school year. We spent time discussing concerns and anticipated challenges. I'm pleased to report that I saw clear, thoughtful plans in place, and I'm confident that the necessary steps are being taken to now ensure a smooth transition for our students in August. At our last meeting, we approved a superintendent's contract, and I want to take a moment to express how excited I am about Dr. Simon joining our district. I hope she's still excited too. I met with her on July 2nd, and I met with her to review her 100-day plan. That's typically what a president does, well, what I've been told by our previous presidents. And I am encouraged by the direction she is taking. I will be meeting with her again on July 17th, as I shared, to talk to her about my perspective on what we've accomplished during my time on the board and areas where I believe that we can grow. The collaboration piece that I was getting to. In preparation for that conversation, I invite each of my fellow board members to reflect on your own vision for Bellflower Unified, because none of us have ever been asked. And if you were crafting a strategic plan, what would you and your top 3 to 5 areas of focus be? What do you believe our profile of a learner or a graduate should look like? Things that I've been speaking about for 2.5 years that we didn't do. And what do you think that our students should experience and become from the moment they enter our district to the day they walk across that graduation stage? On Tuesday, I had the privilege of attending the Lakewood celebration alongside Dr. Simon, Dr. Smith, and Clerk Critchfield. A heartfelt congratulations to Cassandra Chase, the newly appointed mayor of Lakewood, Lakewood's 22nd mayor, the 7th woman in that role, and the first Black mayor in city's history. Her professionalism, her kindness, and her leadership are inspiring, and I look forward to the impact that she will make on our cities. This Saturday, I will be attending the CABC, the California Association of Black School Educators Conference in Napa, along with board member Armstrong and some of my colleagues from Paramount Unified. One of the keynote speakers is Colin Kaepernick, and I'm really excited about that. His continued advocacy and philanthropic work remain relevant, and I'm hopeful this message will empower us to keep pushing for equity and inclusion across all aspects of our educational system. Finally, today marked the end of summer school for me, which I had the pleasure of teaching second semester Algebra 1 at Paramount High School. It was incredibly meaningful to connect with former students and to watch their progress towards graduation. Everything should be student-focused, especially as a board member. And I want to thank all of our BUSD educators and support staff who worked tirelessly during the summer school to help our students with credit recovery, enrichment, and personal growth. I also extend our thanks to the Think Together program for providing engaging programs and safe spaces throughout the summer. And I just want to thank all of you for your continued commitment to our students and our community. I look forward to the year ahead. And just one last thing, since we've all continued on this little path here of discussing and reaffirming how we feel about things, just so the public understands for clarification, collaboration can only happen here on the dais. We are only bound to be able to talk to one person, or we break the Brown Act. So we can't have discussions outside of here. And as president this year, I have never denied any agenda item, any collaboration, or anything that anybody wanted to talk to here on the dais. So I have never had a request that I did not approve. So anything that my colleagues would like to collaborate on, please bring them to my attention. And I agree with Clerk Critchfield so much on the less productive comments. I couldn't agree more. I've seen in the last 2.5 years some really awful conversations publicly on the dais, and I haven't seen that in a while. So I'm really appreciative that maybe this didn't go so great, but we haven't had these problems in the last, say, 6 months. So thank you so much. Moving on to informational items. Does anybody have any questions on informational items? I had one question. As far as camp, I saw that Woodruff and Washington, they go to Emerald Cove, and the rest of us go to American Outdoor Education. Is there a reason that they go to a separate camp? Because I know the dates were similar. It was like May and April, so I was just wondering, did they like that camp better, or why did they choose that camp?
Yeah, it came out of right after COVID. Camp was canceled a few times.
Okay.
And so we had stopped going to Thousand Pines, a good majority of our schools except for one, and we looked for other camps. That was a camp that they ended up going to, and they liked it. So they're continuing to go, and the rest of our schools are back at Thousand Pines.
Okay, I was just curious because I saw those two, and I was like, what's different about that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, if there is no objection, this meeting is adjourned at 7:28 p.m. until the regular board meeting to be held on August 7th, 2025.